And on tonight, Meet the Fans, we get to meet Stephen, who originally was from North Wales, but he grew up in Leeds, West Yorkshire in northern England. But he now lives in the eastern part of England in Cambridgeshire, and he lives with his partner and daughter. He created Steve Harrison Green Photography, and he also now has SHGP Virtual Aviation YouTube channel, and we'll be checking that out very, very soon. Photography wise, he purchased his digital SLR camera in 2009 and frequently shoots aviation, railway, motorsports, and reenactment events, among many others. He joined the RAF in 2006, initially intending to train as a non-commissioned aircrew, but he had to retrade to the intelligence branch. During that time, he did postings in Northolt, High Wycombe, Cranwell, Waddington, Digby, Brampton and Winton, supporting operations in Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Syria and North Africa, along with humanitarian support to Haiti and Nepal. He left in 2018 after completing 12 years. He now works in a civilian role in the emergency services. Stephen has been passionate about aviation since he was 5 years old, and he's never changed his mind about wanting to be a pilot and joining the RAF. He learned to fly solo at the age of 16 through the Air Cadets and was offered the option to train to instructor level, but joined the regular RAF instead. In normal times, Steve frequently attends air shows across the country and in Europe, and can frequently be seen at aviation events with his daughter, who also has her own camera. And hey, she certainly puts him to shame. That's what he says. Okay, there she is, taking some photographs. That reminds me of Heather. Anyway, he says, so far, I've shot military exercises and air shows in the UK, France, Spain, the Netherlands, Czech Republic, Poland and Turkey. But hey, America and the red flag, though, that's really high on his what to do list next. So hey, I certainly hope you get a chance to do that, maybe later in the year. But anyway, that's been tonight's star of Airshow World's Meet the Fans. That's Steve from SHGP Virtual Aviation. And with a little bit of luck, we'll see right now if we can actually speak to him live and have a look at his YouTube channel. Well, we will see. Hey, Steve, are you actually out there this evening?
Hi, Stu. Yes, can you hear me okay?
Oh, we can hear you loud and clear. Not a problem. Well, Steve, how the devil are you? Did you enjoy that?
I'm very well, mate. Yes, thank you very much. That was great. Thank you.
That's an absolute pleasure. Now, while we've got you on, right, what we're going to do, right, we're going to have a sneak peek, if that's okay, of your fantastic YouTube channel. And here it is. Stephen, just before, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to start this video off, right? If you can tell me a little bit about your YouTube channel, very, very briefly, how it sort of came about, all right? Let me start this video off. I'll turn the volume down for starters so we can hear you. Okay, Steve, tell us all about it. How did this happen?
Okay, so this came about towards the end of summer last year, and I started making these videos in August. The reason for this was initially seeing some of the display videos that I put together through an event called VFAT, which is the Virtual Festival of Aerobatic Teams. And they're mostly people on DCS, like the DCS Mirage guy who's in the chat at the moment. They fly and do these virtual airshow displays. And it's something that I looked at doing myself, but my computer's not that good for that. So FSX, which is what I produce everything in, I can run absolutely fine. And playing around with some of the software and things like that, eventually started flying my own displays. And then as I was doing that, started coming more ideas about, maybe I can add some external views, and then made the real big choice of adding real world audio and having to trace that down. And then it built into this long 3-month project on the P40, which was the first video. And that was learning all about the P40, the checklist, how it all works, researching videos and contacting pilots who operate it, and trying to then match that into my video as well, which I was able to do because I've got quite a good payware model of the P40. And then I released that as a trial to see how it went. And I enjoyed it that much, I decided I was going to make some more. So I've now got some new software which enables me to do a much more better recording and add in real world cameras. So particularly like this video at Coningsby, the cameras are fitted in the locations where people would actually go, such as on the mound, by the car park, outside the visitors gate at BBMF as well. And then down at Duxford, there are now cameras on the tank bank down the M11 end, in the naughty field on the old mound that was there. So the idea of being of this is to just recreate what we're actually missing at the moment, especially with last year not having many shows other than Old Warden, and going forward over the next year, it's looking unlikely that they're going to take place as well. So it's kind of just trying to fill that gap.
It's absolutely brilliant. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the volume up on this.
Fuel set on number 2 tanks and the booster pumps on. The cross-feed cock is set to on.
Now, you can actually hear all the, you can hear radio comms and things like that. And that's actually you doing that, isn't it? And I think your wife helped. Well, is it your partner actually helps out as well? Is that correct?
Yeah, so in the P40 video, she's the voice of Duxford. So I managed to source actually through your channel, through Airshow World channel, the comms that were actually used in that. Being able to then write that down and then record my own versions of it, getting my partner to record the Duxford side of it as well. But then learning as well what they actually say at different airfields, because there's the real world book way of speaking over the radio, but there's actually the real world accurate way of how pilots actually speak, which is not as by the book, and then trying to replicate that. So it's all about trying to make things as accurate as possible and as realistic as you can, but at the same time also trying to make it entertaining as well and actually enjoyable to watch.
Well, honestly, you've done an incredible job. And in just a minute, just before it takes us, I mean, look at this. This is incredible. I'm just going to move this along to the little bit just before you take off, and you can hear the actual radio comms. So let's move that back a little bit. Hold on, just a tiny bit more. Where you clear for takeoff. Just have a listen to this, guys. It's brilliant.
Are you ready to take off? Release the brake, smoothly increase power.
And in particular, when we get to the outside views, listen to the fantastic sound of the aircraft. These are real aircraft sounds. Listen very carefully.
Pull back on the control column and lift the aircraft off. Climb, squeeze the brakes, stop the wheels spinning, and gear up. Collapse brake to 10 degrees.
Well, I've got to say that is absolutely fantastic. I'm absolutely hooked watching these sort of things like the DCS Virtual Solar Mirage team, those guys. And then this man turns up as well. And that's our very good Steve. And a fantastic photographer. We've heard all about Steve in the Meet the Fans a little bit. But Steve, what I want everybody to do right now, okay, is do me the big favour, and also Steve the favour. Subscribe to this guy's channel, because it is absolutely brilliant. It takes you all the way through. Watch this in full at your own leisure. Okay, don't forget we've got that premiere coming up in 7 minutes from now. Don't miss that. But subscribe to him, and I tell you what, I'm going to put a link into the chat room right now to make it so easy for you. There we go. He's building this up. Steve, 30 seconds left for you to just summarise it all up for us.
Okay, so coming up in the next week or so, we'll have the second part of the Lancaster video, which will be the BBMF Lancaster display at Duxford, along with their Spitfire Mark II. And then ahead of that, I've got various projects in the works. These will be cinematic projects, recreating some historical side of things. So actually like putting a camera on an airfield, say Waddington during the Vulcan days and filming the Vulcans going around. I can recreate the Dax over Normandy event at Duxford, but with a higher number of Dakotas, and all sorts of projects like that going forwards. Built at the moment, it's going to be mostly done in FSX, because I'm quite enjoying that at the moment.
A massive round of applause to you, Stephen. Stephen, thank you very much. It's much appreciated. Hope everybody's enjoyed that. I certainly have. It's a great insight, and any help that I can do, I promise I always will. So Steve, thanks very much. And thank you for being tonight. Meet the Fans. Thank you. You take care.
Thank you, Steve. It's been great. Thank you for having me on.
That's
you.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you. Right. So there he is, the main man. Right. We got to get on with the show. And